Well, good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and it is Thursday morning, and we know how much I love Thursdays because I don't go to work on Fridays. I just wanted to, first of all, say two things. Number one, how sad we all are about the passing of little Joe, and I'm sorry for the noise. Nana's little dog who had been sick for some time, and I'm certain everybody who ever met Nana on our tiny chat broadcasts knows how much her heart must be absolutely tearing out. And so our condolences go to Nana and to Rick and the family. And you know, I'm just amazed how much my heart just was so painful as well, which told me a lot. So it's really, really sad that these things happen, but unfortunately it's part of the circle of life, and it comes more quickly when we have pets. We know that. And depending on the pets, it comes very quickly, but unfortunately these pets we have for so long, and they're so much part of our lives that they become family. And as I've said to Nana and to a lot of you when you've been grieving, if you didn't care so much, it wouldn't hurt so much. And so it's a pretty sad way to start, but it is what it is. And then we also have our friend Charlotte from the broadcast, who's going into hospital today. And I know by the time I get this video up, we hopefully will hear that she's through it and fine and on her way to a speedy recovery. So Charlotte, if you're watching this one's definitely had the right intent on it, even though it won't be uploaded until after your operation is over. And thank you for all the fun pictures and comments that you've been sending to me, so that I could keep people up to date. And the same at a different level to Nana. I really thank you so much for keeping me up to date so that I could keep your newfound friends on Tiny Chat up to date. It's not easy to do when you're going through tough stuff. So well done, everybody. I was watching... It's raining. I was watching the news this morning, and one of the things that I picked up on just before I left was about the lack of security, if you like, on our emails. And this isn't just about the American NSA program, it is about really how the systems work, be it Google or any of the other providers. Now, as you all know, I'm a Google person, so I am well aware that some machine somewhere in the big sky there, or wherever, is reading everything that I type into an email. And the reason I know that is because as fast as I type about renovations or backsplash, as soon as I hit the send button, there will be a group of ads geared to that. So I know something is scanning my emails all the time. But contrary to what a lot of people think, this is not some person who is fastidiously taking notes and going, oh, look at DearMamaSal, you know, she's writing this, that, and the other. It's a machine that's picking up keywords so that it can actually give you advertisements that are meaningful for you. And you might say, well, I'd rather not have that. Well, the reason we get free email is because of that. And I don't know about you, but I certainly would much rather have ads that are targeted towards my interests than the constant barrage of male enhancement products like Viagra, which quite honestly I have no use for. I don't take them. I don't need them. So this is what you've got to look at is, is there some merit in what they do? Yep, I think so. Now, most of us don't like it because we believe what we send to one another is sacrosanct and should be private. Well, if you want private correspondence, then you need to go back to snail mail. Because there's nothing private about what we do today. I think those of us who are vloggers learn very quickly there's nothing very private about what we do. You guys know just about everything there is to know about us. But it's part of the price, I guess, that we pay for doing what we do. And so it's really up to each, let's say, vlogger to decide, how much they divulge and how much they don't. And some of us divulge more than others in the interests of giving you a real picture as opposed to a what should we call it, a superimposed on a pedestal type picture. I think it's very easy for a lot of people to be perfect for a couple of minutes a day. When I say be perfect, but the hair's beautifully done, the makeup's beautifully done, their temper's under control, their fears are under control, all those things. I think most people can get that together for half an hour a day. And I guess that you guys determine whether or not that's important. I've been stunned time and time again when we've been doing the broadcast, that what the broadcast viewers always say is they would far rather see me without makeup and without fancy clothes or whatever. In other words, I can be in my painting clothes. They'd rather I was dressed that way and broadcasting or doing videos than not seeing me at all. It's really interesting. It's like, that's what friends would say, I guess. So I've always been somewhat amused by that because, I don't look my best without makeup or in my painting clothes. And I want to thank every one of the viewers because you have taught me that that's okay. And when I say you have taught me, I mean, you have taught me in many ways that you don't see that as disrespect to you. And, I hope and pray that people who the first time visiting the channel don't happen to come across one of those videos first. Or one of the ones where I appear to be half asleep. But it's really interesting to me that's part of your amusement, if you like. And I'd like to think that part of you is gratified that I look very much like you do. Without makeup, or without my hair, or I have the same fears that you do, and I have the same challenges in some cases, and sometimes I have more. I find it so fascinating that this whole business about my humor is coming out for some reason from a lot of you. That you enjoy watching the vlogs because of my humor. And I'm going, I didn't know I was humorous at this time of the morning. But some of you see that, and some of you, I guess, enjoy that, which is great. like a lot of you, and if not all of you, I have to make that decision every single morning. Do I want to be a happy camper today, or do I want to be a miserable one? Do I want to make the best of what's coming down at me, or do I want to be a victim to it? I make those decisions every day, and sometimes every hour, and sometimes every minute, especially when I'm driving, I've noticed. But there are two different parts to this. There's one which is, do you really think I'm that happy all the time? No. I'm quite normal. But the other thing is this: when somebody cuts me off on the road, I actually don't take it personally. I don't think that guy was driving along all the cars close to me and going, there's Sal. Let me mess with her day. I really don't think that he does that. Or she. I think they just are running late, in a hurry, forget their manners, forget that we all share the road, and cut in. And it's really one of those small things that gets people. I'm amazed how many people get really nose out of joint. And you've heard me probably say it before, but you are the way you drive your car. If you're pretty chill, when you drive your car, the chances are you live your life pretty well like that. But if you get upset a lot when you drive your car, slam the wheel, use nasty language on people, all those sort of things, then really you're probably quite an angry person if you were honest with yourself. So I guess the lesson for today is, how do you stop that if you want to? Some people actually don't want to. They actually do want to believe they own the road and that all people are polite. If they really want to live with that little fantasy, they probably need to go visit Disneyland, because that's probably the only place where that's true. But, really, they believe that is the truth. They don't know that life actually sucks, and some people are just rude, and some people just don't know any better because they weren't taught any better. And some people don't realize that the people most likely doing those things are also cutting off people and doing the same things to others. But of course then it's different, because they're in a hurry. Go figure. So how do you stop it? That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to sort of put a little bit of learning in this one. I don't know how you're going to stop it, but what I learned to do is to stop the thought process. In other words, if every time you see somebody cutting you off, or somebody not stopping properly at a stop sign, or all the other things that we see every single day when you're driving a car, if your mind gets triggered on every one of them, and you go, my God, what's that person doing driving on the road, or whatever else you may say to yourself, the trick is to immediately say to yourself, they're probably in a hurry, and have I ever done that? And if you can be compassionate in your thought process, then you're going to not let that negative energy stick. You're going to have the negative energy covered by the positive, compassionate energy, and therefore it's not going to ruin your day. And I think that's really, really something all of us can concentrate on and bring into our daily lives. which is how do you counteract the negativity? Because there's so much negativity in the world today. You know, I was also watching the fact that the young lady who got kidnapped by the family friend last week, this young lady was already on social media answering questions about her ordeal. And how many people are in judgment of that? Well, we are so quick to judge other people. I mean, I've had this discussion before about, you know, the haters and so forth, but people are so quick to judge other people. And I was listening to this morning to some comment about it, and I am very glad to say that at least one or two people who were psychiatrists said that it could be extremely healthy for her, because the sooner she starts discussing what her feelings are and what happened to her, the better. Not that she needs to discuss if there was a sexual component to this. She doesn't need to discuss that. But what about her fears about being abducted? What about the fact that she didn't know what had happened to her mother and her brother? As soon as she talks about that and her anger about that and how upset she is about that, the better for her psychologically, the better for the process of healing, of grieving to happen. And so in a way, and I've always said this, in a way, at its best, social media can be very, very good for a lot of people, because they probably wouldn't talk to a lot of people, but they do seem to talk on social media. And that in itself is a very freeing thing. I am really delighted at the people who write to me now, when things are not going well in their lives. Not because they're being whiny, because if things are not going well in your life and it upsets you, it means that you are not able to process it. I wonder if that makes any sense to you. You know, if something goes wrong in your life and you're getting really upset by it, it just means that you don't know how to process it. You don't understand why this is happening. You don't understand what you need to do about it. And for some reason, nobody has taught you how to cope with that sort of situation. And that's how I look at it. When people write to me with their stuff, that's how I look at it. I go, wow, this person hasn't been taught how to handle something like this. Now, not that I handle it all brilliantly, don't get me wrong. I have good days and bad days like the rest of you. But you know, I don't think a lot of us get taught how to handle those sort of things. Or we get told to suck it up and don't get sad or don't get whatever. I think it's okay to be sad. I think it's a natural emotion, not to get overwhelmed by it. But part of life is being sad. You can be happy and you can be sad in a split second. That's healthy. I assure you, when I heard about little Joe, I was sad, genuinely sad. I'm still a little bit sad talking about it. When I say a little bit sad, I can still feel my body reacting to it. I was sad to hear that Charlotte has to go in for an operation, but then immediately think, hopefully when that's done, she will be in less pain. When I heard about little Joe, the next thought I had was, hopefully he is now in a much better place and out of pain, because that's what I choose to believe. So look at your life today. Look at the things that make you sad or angry or whatever. And then check yourself out. Raining. Check yourself out to see how well do you counter the negativity. And start practicing that. Because if you do start practicing countering the negativity in your mind, then you will find you will be a happier person. Things will not upset you as much. It takes practice, don't get me wrong. If you do it right one time in one day, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference to your life. A little bit, but not a lot. But if you constantly are aware of that, then your life's going to get a lot more realistic and a lot happier. Isn't that interesting? When you actually accept these things as being real and part of your day, anger, sadness, joy, hunger, all these things, when you just accept that part of your day and it's quite normal, then you will not be so bent out of shape.